Uwe Flippin' Boll, director, producer, screenwriter, restaurateur. This bulky, short-tempered German man that lives in Canada for some reason goes by many names, but most people just call him Bad. If you have even a passing interest in video games, you know that film adaptations of them have a consensus of not being very good, and good old Uwe Boll of Rice is a major contributor to this, since a good chunk of these adaptations have his name slapped on them. For reference, 4 of IMDb's Bottom 100 movies, cause yes, there's a Bottom 100 list, are from Boll, with his worst being House of the Dead at number 8. Meaning it's worse than such gems as Son of a Mask, Battlefield Earth, Food Fight, and War of the Worlds featuring Ice Cylinder.
Hey, that was easy.
But of course, it's not just that no one likes his movies, no one wants to see them either. For some examples, Alone in the Dark barely made back half its budget, Blood Rain only made back 15%, and Postal, against a budget of $15 million, made back $146,000. That's just less than 1%. It's still more effort than I put into the script. But that just makes me wonder, if no one wants to watch his train wrecks, how the hell does he keep wrecking so many trains? And where does he get the money to wreck all of them? 3 words, my friends. Government tax incentives. Specifically those from Germany, but any country can have them. We're specifically looking at film and TV tax incentives, which in layman's terms means the government can help partially fund your movie if you film in and hire crew from their country. Take Canada, for instance. Tax incentives for film and TV can range from 25% to a whopping 40% depending on which province you film in. The latter number comes from British Columbia specifically, and I now see why so many Hollywood films are done over there. Now, Germany has these incentives as well, but let's just say they weren't as lenient back then as they are now. Uwe Boll knew that for a fact, and used Germany's leniency to his advantage in 2 major ways. Firstly, when you were making a movie with German money involved, you didn't have to film it in Germany, or hire any Germans to make it. Yeah, out of all of Boll's video game adaptations, none of them were done inside of Germany other than for post-production. Instead, they were usually filmed in Canada. House of the Dead, British Columbia. Alone in the Dark, British Columbia. In the Name of the King, British Columbia. Far Cry, British Columbia. Blood Rain, take a wild guess. Nope, Romania. But the sequel is filmed in British Columbia. You get the idea. Uwe Boll of Cereal had a thing for Canada, unfortunately, so made a lot of his films there, probably so he could double dip on those tax incentives. But that doesn't fully explain how he was able to make money off of movies that barely made any. After all, if you take money from the government, you're normally supposed to pay it back, right? Right? Well, not in the early 2000s Germany you didn't. Back then, any German that invested in a film could write out the production costs in their taxes and even delay paying them. Any funds you borrowed to invest in your movie could also get written off, and get this, they only had to pay taxes on the movie if it was financially successful. Now let's look back at what some of Uwe Boll of Ice Cream's films have done at the box office. Usually they're lucky to make even half their budget back, if even. So that means that, usually, this is how Uwe Boll made his movies. Acquire the rights to make a film based on a video game, specifically one that the original copyright holders probably don't give much of a damn about, sell his grandiose idea to German investors, get that sweet German moolah to make his film, go to Canada, get that sweet Canadian moolah to make his film, make a film as shallow as possible, make it cheap, but not too cheap that'll make a profit, be a general asshole to everyone so they all hate you before the movie comes out, and when the movie does come out, no one watches it, but the people that do watch it, that money goes right into your pocket, cause that's really what this was all about. Uwe Boll didn't want to actually make good movies but was just bad at it. Okay, that might partially be it, but mainly, he's just a con man exploiting multiple government support systems just so he can get rich quick. And he had to get rich quick because, eventually, the money stopped flowing. In 2006, after much outcry, the German government nipped the tax loophole in the bud, with the new tax rebate system starting in 2007, ending the era of what was coined as stupid German money. Now, if your German movie flopped, you'd actually lose money in your investment, aka how everyone else was doing it. Now, even though Uwe Boll of Bolls was making terrible movies for money, he actually didn't stop making films. He still kept making video game adaptations, with his last completed one being In the Name of the King 3: The Last Mission in 2014, but mostly he just ended up making low-budget action and horror films. And all his own finances too, though he did try to fund some other films through failed crowdfunding attempts, including more video game adaptations like a sequel to Postal. Oh boy! Oh no, Uwe Boll was a hack businessman in the guise of a filmmaker, exploiting poorly thought out government tax programs to earn some cash at the expense of actual German filmmakers and fans of video games who just wanted to see their favorite franchises on the big screen. He didn't care about the quality of his films, if they made any sort of logical sense, if they were appealing to look at, or if they were just good in general. To him, the ends justified the means. The means being him and a Scrooge McDuck vault full of money.